Detroit isn't asking the NFL for respect anymore. Detroit is acting like a team that expects to still be playing deep into January, and that changes everything. It changes how you manage the roster, how you approach the deadline, how you think about rotations when the air burns cold and every snap feels heavier. That's exactly why I'm here with you tonight. What's happening around this team in the days before the trade deadline isn't noise. It's the quiet movement of a franchise that believes it can win now. For the first time in a long time, the Lions are buyers. Not dreamers, buyers. And once you make that mental shift, you stop chasing headlines and start targeting the kind of professional addition that wins you a playoff game on one snap in the fourth quarter. We all know what this group already is. Physically, emotionally, structurally, the identity is real. Dan Campbell set the tone, Aaron Glenn turned effort into standard, and Aiden Hutchinson plays like the franchise is stitched into his jersey. Leadership is no longer a buzzword here. It's the operating system. But there's one element contenders always go looking for in late October. Another closer off the edge. One more veteran with length, burst, and bad intentions who can come in cold on 3rd and long and end a drive by himself. Fresh legs in the fourth quarter. That's the final ingredient that turns a good defense into a January defense. Here's the truth that matters when it gets cold. In the postseason, you cannot live on 5- and 6-man pressures every money down. Elite quarterbacks will find the one-on-one and punish you. You have to squeeze the pocket with 4, keep your safeties honest, and force ugly on-schedule decisions. That's the difference between walking off to take a knee and watching a miracle throw break your heart. It's also why the deadline, Tuesday, November 4th at 4 p.m. Eastern, matters so much. When the league office closes the book, your depth chart is your destiny. Detroit isn't waiting for next year. This window is open right now. Scan the market for exactly that role, and all arrows keep circling the same place, Tennessee. The Titans aren't tearing it down, but they're realistic about veterans in the last year of their deals. That's the neighborhood where disciplined buyers live. Real production for a smart price and minimal long-term risk. There's a defender on that roster who fits this need almost too perfectly. Before I say the name, understand the profile. We're talking about 6'5" with arms like cables, short area closing speed, and a toolkit built for chaos. Long arm stab, rip, inside counter, and a motor that refuses to clock out. Tennessee uses him like a multi-tool. Stand him up in a wide 9 and let him threaten the corner. Walk him over a tight end and erase timing with a violent punch. Slide him inside on an overload and make the protection declare. He doesn't chase empty pressures. He finishes plays. Through 5 outings this year, he's put disruption on tape. A sack and a half, tackles for loss, and a string of hurries. And across the last 2 seasons, he's stacked double-digit sacks while earning a reputation as a closer, not a stat collector. Now imagine the fit in Detroit. Hutchinson on one edge, this veteran stretched wide on the other, Aleem McNeil threatening to split the A-gap. The center has to slide. The back has to stay in. You've stolen an eligible receiver before the ball is snapped. Aaron Glenn doesn't need to gamble. He can rush 4, spin the shell late, and dare the quarterback to hold the ball a beat too long. That's not fireworks, that's suffocation. That is what January defense looks like. The contract makes it practical. He's in the final season of a 3-year deal signed in 2023. Veteran money that says he's a piece, not a project, but no anchor beyond this stretch run. For Tennessee, that creates a decision. Ride with him for depth as injuries stack up, or flip him now for a mid-round pick and a conditional sweetener. For Detroit, it's clean business, controlled cost for a very specific job. You're not asking him for 60 snaps. You're asking him to win the 2 plays that decide a playoff game. Yes, the medicals matter. He's managed a quad this year and missed time, and that's part of the calculus. But if the training staff signs off and tells you he'll be right in December, the risk becomes the exact kind contenders accept. Because what you're buying is not a stat line. You're buying leverage in the fourth quarter. You're buying the freedom for Hutchinson to empty the tank knowing a fresh hammer is coming in behind him. You're buying sanity for a secondary that gets to play top down because the rush is arriving on schedule. All right. Here's the headline you've been waiting for. The player is Arden Key, edge rusher for the Tennessee Titans. Key is built for what Detroit needs right now. He's long and violent at contact, comfortable standing or with a hand in the dirt, and willing to do the dirty snaps that don't make highlight shows but make coordinators sleep better. He brings a veteran's sense of timing: stab, lift, corner, finish. Put him opposite Hutchinson and watch protections panic. Slide to Arden Key will long-arm your tackle into the lap of your quarterback. Slide to Key and Hutchinson ruins the set with that first step you can't coach. Either way, the offense loses an option before the ball is even snapped. Culturally, it clicks too. This staff doesn't sign tourists. If you wear Honolulu blue in January, you bring edge, urgency, and accountability. Key fits the tone: competitive, loud in the right ways, steady in the huddle. He's not a young on-ramp. He's plug-and-play for money downs. And the best part is what he does for everyone else. Fresher legs for Hutchinson, freer disguise for Glenn, fewer emergency blitzes to cover up a four-man rush that's a beat late. Add one professional closer and the whole unit breathes. There's also the calendar game inside the game. November and December are about snap management as much as scheme. Hutchinson has been carrying premium downs all year: early down edge setting, third down rush, 2-minute drills. Add a veteran like Key and you convert 8 to 10 of those snaps into higher octane rushes instead of survival reps. That's how you keep the motor fresh for the fourth quarter without losing juice in the second. It also unlocks more NASCAR fronts: Hutchinson and Key wide, a quick interior penetrator between them, and a stand-up backer mugging the A-gap to freeze the protection. That picture stresses every slide call an offense can make. Think about the matchups. Versus San Francisco, you need lanes that squeeze without escape doors. Versus Philadelphia, you need edges that post and shed. Versus Dallas, you erase the first hitch with 2 long edges arriving together. This is chess, not confetti. Money-wise, the move is tidy. An expiring veteran number that fits under the in-season plan lets you buy impact without detonating the spring. The draft cost sits in the middle rounds, where Brad Holmes has a track record of finding role players. Flipping one for a playoff closer at the league's most expensive non-QB position is efficient value. And if Key lights it up, you keep optionality. Talk extension in February, or let the market pay him and recoup a compensatory pick down the line. That's how contenders stack advantages without mortgaging tomorrow. Walk with me into the moment that matters. Ford Field, divisional round. 3rd and 7, 1 score up, 2 minutes left. Hutchinson wins across the face of the left tackle. Key presses and lifts on the right, forcing the quarterback to climb. McNeil collapses the pocket. The ball comes out early and off balance. The exact throw your DBs have been waiting for all night. That's how a deadline transaction becomes a memory the city keeps forever. There's always a price. Maybe it's a 4th rounder and a conditional late pick that upgrades based on playoff snaps. Maybe Tennessee squeezes for a little more. That's the decision on Brad Holmes' desk. Pay a manageable toll for a specialized closer, or trust the current rotation to finish in January. My answer is simple: you pay it as long as the medical's clear. This franchise already told the league what it is by locking down its cornerstone and playing fearless, grown-up football. The finish to that sentence is obvious: add the closer. Before I wrap, I want you in this with me. Drop it below. Do you send the mid-round pick for Arden Key, expiring deal quad managed, in exchange for the right to rush 4 and end drives on schedule? Or do you hold the pick and ride the room you've built? Be honest. The standard in Detroit has changed. We aren't here for cute. We're here for cold weather, 4-man heat, and kneel-downs in January. My take stays the same. The Lions aren't asking for respect anymore. They're taking it. Go get the closer. Go get the snap that ends somebody else's season and keeps ours alive. And stay locked to Lions News Fan Report. Like, subscribe, turn on alerts, because the minute phones start ringing and paperwork starts flying, you're getting the breakdowns here first, with the same urgency the team is carrying into November.